Hello and welcome to another little post-processing video as an interlude to my vlogs from Madeira currently. So in the past I had to do a lot of processing in Lightroom to be able to finish my photos for the videos, which I put out much more frequently. And yeah, with the new masking feature that Lightroom introduced just recently, this is actually an option for me now to do more processing, more targeted processing in Lightroom and do less in Photoshop. So what I want to do in this video, give you 3 practical examples how you can use the new masking feature and explain the different modes where you can subtract a mask from another, where you can add a mask to another, and where you can do intersections. And we'll start with this photo here, which will be part of the next video from Madeira. It shows Ponta São Lourenço from a very beautiful viewpoint, and I had some awesome light here. And now imagine you want to do something with the sky, so darken it, make it a bit more contrasty. What you do with the new masking feature, you go here to the right side to this little circle, click on it and select your primary mask. In this case, same as I would in the field with a graduated neutral density filter, I select the linear gradient and I just pull down here from the sky, basically creating a gradient that will mostly select this upper part, then here this medium part where it's very bright, and go a bit down here into the landscape. So a typical graduated neutral density filter. Now, when I bring down the exposure, you see it darkens the whole area and less so here the middle area. Let's make it a little more hard so we can better see what happens. Can also increase the contrast, darken it further, and maybe do a little bit of dehaze. So what now happens is, here this very bright area, this streak of light which you have around the horizon, the effect there is quite nice, and that's the same if you would use a graduated neutral density filter. But what also happens here, the upper part gets very dark, a bit too dark for my taste. So what you usually have in the field, there are now reverse filters, which are the darkest here around the horizon and less so in the upper part. And with the new masking feature and the flexibility we have, we can recreate this same reverse filter in Lightroom now. So the first approach would be to just select here our primary mask and go to subtract. Select another linear gradient and then just pull down here from the top. Now what this does, and that's a little limitation in Lightroom currently, which I hope they'll adapt in the future, it completely subtracts the upper part. So I can now just move it around a bit, try to position it in a way that it works. But the problem with that is, and the thing which is missing in my opinion, is an opacity slider for this upper part, because what I want to do here is just to reduce it or subtract it at an opacity of maybe 30 or 40%, and this is not possible because I don't have an opacity slider here. So while this creates kind of a reverse filter, it's not exactly what I need, but it already shows you what you can do, because if we now select this mask, you see we just have this band, this selection here. But what I can also do is just, let's remove this one. Instead of using the linear gradient in the subtraction, I can just create this or use this brush here and set the feather to 100% or something less, depending on how smooth I want the transition. Set the flow to 100, then select the size which you feel appropriate, and then here the density, that's kind of the opacity slider. And let's just do a 30% or maybe a 20%, then we can build up the effect. I will also zoom out a bit, and now what I can do, I just press down, so I move this huge brush here to the upper left outside of the frame, press down once, then I hold shift and press here on the right side of the frame, and this creates a straight line. And now if we look at this brush, you see it does a very fine selection of the top. I can repeat this, maybe reduce the density a bit. So press down again here on the left, a little lower, shift, press on the right, and if you use shift, basically what it does, it creates a straight line between the 2 points where you press down. This is same to Photoshop. And yeah, now I'm basically doing a very controlled reverse effect. So I can build up the subtraction step by step versus using a linear gradient doesn't allow me. So this is one thing you can use the new masking feature. So you have a primary mask, which is just a linear gradient, and then you can subtract, for example, a brush to make part of this linear gradient less pronounced. Now let's go to another example. This is a photo from Lisbon, which will be part of an upcoming video too. And here I want to show you the addition of two masks. So again, let's go here to this masking circle, and you see I already have two masks applied, but we'll just create a new one. So add the plus and we create a radial gradient here. And what I want to do, I want to affect basically this area here, the tram. So I select it, I refine the gradient, and then I also want to affect part in the background. So what I can do, I just press the plus here and I select another radial gradient, and this time I select here part in the background, which I also want to affect, make it a little smoother. And now you see here in this masking display, I have basically two dots, and you can add further of those circles if you want. Now if I play around with the exposure, what I can do, I brighten up the tram and also the background to create some nice interest in the photo. So the viewer can basically jump between the 2 points of interest, which is the tram and then this building here in the background. Can add a little bit of clarity to make it stand out even more. Yeah, and that's an example where you can use the addition of two filters. And finally, there's a third hidden feature to the masking. So here for this image, which I took on Pico Aero, you see that currently the sky is just white, but there's actually detail contained here. I have to just bring it out because here in the basic settings, I actually increased the exposure a bit, but if I pull down the highlights, you see there is actually detail. But if I pull down the highlights on the global image, everything gets darker, which I don't want, so let's keep it back. I just want to affect the bright areas here in the sky. So what I can do, let's again select the mask here, use a linear gradient, and then draw down the upper part here. So basically to tell the selection to just affect the sky. And now if I pull down the exposure, you see how much detail is suddenly revealed here in the sky. Also increase the contrast a bit. But now we get this ugly darkening here in the mountains in the already dark parts of the image, which is something I don't want. So now I could subtract again, try to subtract the dark tones here from the bottom. Or what I can also do, if I hold down Alt and hover over those plus and minus buttons, you see here, there's a new button appearing, that's the intersection. And the intersection, basically, if I click it and select the luminance range, what it will do, it will intersect the luminance range, which I now selected, with the previously created linear gradient. So inside of the area that's selected by the linear gradient, I will now basically create a luminance range, and I can also show the luminance map, which is very helpful to create this selection. So basically I want this luminance selection just to affect the bright areas. And here with this handle I can make it a bit smoother. So you see that now we just select this upper area, and also down here you have some reddish areas in the grass and everything. But because I have it intersect with the linear gradient we had just for the sky, the resulting selection is just here the upper part. Now if I hover over it, you see. So the luminance selection, the parts that are selected down here, will not affect the image later because I have this intersection with the linear gradient for the sky. So basically what I now did, I selected just the bright parts for the sky. And now if you look here, what I'm doing, I just darken those parts here in the sky, and you see now I have to refine this a bit. And let's just hide the luminance range, and now to make it smooth enough so we don't see this ugly transition here. So let's do it maybe like this. And I think now we have quite a good selection, and you can certainly refine this. So yeah, that's it. That's 3 ways you can use the new masking feature, and for sure you can combine more and more. So you can add and subtract and add and subtract, but this is really the basics. So you'll now know how to do a subtraction, how to add filters and also some practical examples and where you would want to do an intersection. So I hope this was helpful, and yeah, I'll certainly still use Photoshop because it's still much more flexible. For example, having the ability to change the opacity for your masks, stuff like that. I really hope that Lightroom will also introduce this feature in the future, but for now I'm really pleased with this addition to Lightroom and how it allows me to be much quicker in my processing for the videos I show you here. So see you in the next video. Bye.